Hello everybody, I hope you're okay. So this is my GrandMA2 and I'm going to show you what all of the buttons do and how you use all of the buttons. This is not extensive on how to use the GrandMA2. If you want that, do leave that below. But we're going to start over here with the faders and stuff, as this is the simplest and it gets more complex. So let me move you in. So as you can see down here, we've got faders, sliders and buttons. These buttons go all the way along here. So down here, what you'll see is if I go on where there is a track, you'll see under the track, I'm not sure how well you can see this, but there are three little options. These three options correspond to what the three buttons do here. So pressing the top button does the top on this. It's set here to the top, and this will do the go, and this will do the flash. So if we off that, if I press the off and we get rid of that, and then I could do the flash just to have it flash on and off. Of course, this fader does the fader indicated here by this. So as I bring that up and down, you can see that's going up and down there. And that's the same for all of these buttons. They correspond to there. They can be configured in a menu. I'll show you that now, actually. We pop that over to 3. They can have a menu, and you can change what all of the buttons do to any of these combinations of buttons. It's pretty simple. And then if you come down below that, you have an additional row of buttons. These buttons correspond to this bottom row. And this bottom row can essentially do whatever you want. So they can be the same thing. So I've got here a BPM assigned to this one. Oh, you can't see it. This one's got a BPM assigned to it, and this one's also got a BPM assigned to it, as you can see there and there. So that's kind of what all these buttons do. These are just essentially assignable buttons to different tracks and sequences and stuff like that, as well as BPM and speed masters. Coming over from there, you've got channel buttons. So they actually change what these do. So if you press the channel buttons, you'll see up here that the thing has changed. So you're on a channel page. So you can assign direct channel faders to these buttons, or you can be on a fader page, which is what it's on now. It's indicated here. It says fader, or it'll say channel. And then button pages, these buttons here, they just do the bottom buttons. They also correspond along to these buttons here. Assuming these buttons are in the regular button mode and not in the user buttons. You've got user buttons 1 and user buttons 2, which allows you to have preset buttons. But we won't jump over to there just quickly. But these are the same. These are essentially the same as these button buttons. Up here we have this adjustable scroller, which actually, if I bring you up a bit higher, you scroll that and you can see it's scrolling through the view. Whatever you've got selected, you can scroll quite simply using that scroller, which is quite nice and quite neat and quite quick. And I like the fact there's a physical button. Okay, so now there's these faders. These faders are assigned, as you can see, it's not happy with me dragging them around, but these faders are assigned to whatever you got here. These can just be additional sequences and stuff like that. And whatever you've got selected is what appears here as the primary sequence. Okay, that's kind of that. Following below them, you've got buttons. You've got, can I make that a little bit less blurry? Ah, there you go. You've got pause, go minus, and go plus. Pause, you'll probably guess what it does. It pauses. Go minus goes back to the previous cue, and go forward goes to the next cue. But of course, if you're going back and then you pause, you can't really see that. If you look up here, I've paused it. So if I go back to that, and then I go, and then I pause, you can see the line stop, and I can go again and continue. Simple as that. Or you can unpause by pressing the pause button again. So over here, we've got some more options. So as you can see here, we've got these little wheels. These wheels correspond to the component named above them. So if you're on dimmer, it'll be dimmer, curve. You've got pan, tilt, color temperature, session, beam, blah, 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 blah. All that sort of shit. They're just configured there. Then what we've got here is the nipple. It brings up this like additional menu to allow you to change the sensitivity of the buttons there and there, as you can see. And you've got clear screen, disable multi-touch, all those sort of options. You've also got the options over here, as you can see. Then this wheel, I haven't got anything selected that can do that. This wheel just does the same as it did on this screen to allow you to scroll between the views. And then down here, I've got this set up to be the smart display. Oh, hold on, before we get down here. So this part of the display here cannot be configured. It's just below the command prompt. You can configure what's here, and you can configure what's here, but you can't configure this. It's predefined on depending on what you select in fixture-wise. And of course, you can configure all of this. If I clear this, you can put anything you want in this user space, and anything you want in that user space, and anything you want down here. Down here, I tend to always put the smart display. This is like a sort of display that updates dynamically depending on what you've got selected. So depending on what fixture you've got, it changes what you see down here. It's quite simple. And then below that, you've got a copy of the command prompt. And you can see it's got some indicators. If we look into that, you can see that it's saying that it's got a session status, that this console is master. It can't find a backup server, and it's missing a network console it's expecting to be on the network. That's kind of that. And then down below that, you've got... Oh, sorry, I'm wobbling you. The user configurable buttons as well as the adjustable buttons. These buttons correspond to the buttons on the display, if that makes sense. So whatever you press here does whatever it does on there. Moving along. Ooh, moving along very badly. We've now got user buttons. I don't really know what they do. I have no idea what they use. I've never used them. I'm guessing they're user configurable parameters and user configurable buttons. No idea what this does either. No idea. Never used it. So now we've got select, off, and fix. So this is just to do with control of the fixture. So like if I wanted to disable a queue stack that's running, I'd press off and then select the queue stack and it would go off, stuff like that. Or you could select stuff. Then you've got temp. Yeah, you get the idea of that. Anyway, I don't know what the fix does. Fix, I will have used it. I can't remember what it does now. Oh, fuck. It fixes what's selected over there. Then you got on, which is the inverse of off. Then you got top, which just takes you to the top of the stack. As you could see, it changed. I just clicked on something and it took it to the top of the stack. And then you got temp, which I'm guessing is a temporary. It does it temporarily. And then you got learn to learn stuff. And these arrows, I don't really use these arrows. You can get these arrows to do flash and full and shit like that. A lot of these options appear here. A lot of these options appear here in this command line. And when you press them more than once, you get a different option. Then you've got go minus, pause, and go plus. These are essentially an extension of the ones you saw here. But, of course, they do different tracks. You can say that you want to go on a specific track and stuff like that. Time. That's like adjust the delay time in a stack. So you can do fade, delay, and off, etc. Edit. Edit does edit. My favorite key of all, oops, you're wobbling, is the oops key. Oops. You've made a change that you didn't like, and it pops up this confirm undo point. You can hold it down and get the oops menu to oops out of all the changes you've made. Update commits an update, and clears everything you selected. You have to press it about 3 times to clear all things. So first it clears what you've got selected, then it clears what's in the program, and then it clears everything else. And store, that stores a new queue or a new command or something like that. Over here we've got what are the more like effect, go to, and macro options. These are the sort of command buttons. I don't know if that's right. Well, I don't know what I'm saying. But anyway, you got the view. So this changes your view. So you can change the view you selected by doing that. You don't necessarily need to press the view button. But you can collect effect and store an effect. So you go effect 1, 2, etc. You get the idea. Record effect 2, store effect 2, go to. And then you can type in a queue. So 2, and it'll go to queue 2. Stuff like that. Page. Except does the same thing. Macro does the same thing. Preset does the same thing. Sequence is similar. You're just going to those sequences and presets. Say with queue, etc. Execute. It just picks and execute it, or you can do if you press it twice, you'll get a special master. A special master is like a sound or something like that, like a BPM, stuff like that. They're special masters. Channel, fixture, and groups are the same. You say group, and then you want group 2. That highlights group 2, etc. You get the idea there. I think this is self-explanatory. This is a number pad. It's got a through key, so if you want to do fixtures So if you want to do fixtures 1 through 100, you type it like that. You've got plus and minus, and then at. So if you want to set there, so you want to do fixture 1 at, to give it a value of 100%, you type it like that. The MA key, you can't see this, if you hold the MA key down, you'll get additional view buttons. So these are view buttons. They allow you to pick the views on the screen. If you hold them down, they'll do a view page. I don't know how well you can see that over there. Try to do this with one hand. That allows you to see the view pages, so you can toggle between them. That's that. There's not many more buttons down here. You've got delete, copy, move. Those are self-explanatory. Full, highlighted, solo. This is depending on what you want to do. So do you want to set the fixture to full light brightness? Do you want to just highlight it? Highlight is a separate command. It doesn't store it in the program. It just sort of turns it on temporarily. And solo just isolates the selected fixtures out. So if you've just got one fixture selected, then it will only show you that fixture. All the rest will get turned off. You've got up, down, previous, and next, and set. Those are just sort of arrow keys. I don't really use them that often, but they're quite useful when you need them. Over here, you've got this, like, wheel. This allows you to do the brightness. This is always associated with the intensity of the fixture. Pretty simple. You've got the 3 mouse buttons. I'm not really sure what the difference is. I think it's right-click, center-click on that, and you can turn the mouse off with this, or you can turn it on with this. Simple. You've got the master fader. Of course, you can disable this, but this is the master fader. It does bring a little warning on down here when you've got the master fader not on the right. And you've got a blackout button to temporarily hold a blackout. Right above that, up there, if I can zoom you in a little, we've got tools, setup, backup, and help. So tools just brings up all the tool menu. Let's zoom you out a little. It brings up the tool menu. Setup brings up the setup menu. Backup brings up the backup window where you can see the internal storage, the temporary show, the demo shows the templates and the USB drive. And help just puts the help command down here. I guess give you help. Yeah, you get the like help, explain it thing. I don't really use the help button much. I'd hope you wouldn't need to use that. But if you're learning it, that's kind of simple. I've covered all of the buttons. You're probably interested in these drawers because they're quite useful. So down here, we've got a drawer. It's actually a keyboard. So you've got a keyboard with all the usual keys, other than the fact it's got a please key. Of course, there's the please key. You can press the pause key to lock and unlock the desk. And then over here, you've got a drawer. This drawer's a bit dirty. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's kind of a full explanation of all of the buttons and configuration parameters in the MA. If you wanted me to do some more in-depth videos on how to use it, if the people are interested, I might do that. But yeah, I've explained to you what all the buttons do. I think that's it. I'll see you in the next one.